Newcastle are on fire.
Eddie, what did you make of that first friendly?
I thought it was a competitive game. I thought it was a good game. Probably ideal for where we are at the moment. I thought Hull play slightly differently. Good to see something different. Full credit to their manager and their players for trying to implement that in a very short period of time. So we had a couple of things to get to grips with and how they play out from the back. I thought once we did get to grips with that after about 10 to 15 minutes, I thought we did well. And we were probably good from that period to half time. The second half was very bitty.
From Eddie Howe's new tactic, to Lewis Hall's masterclass, to Jacob Murphy's reminder, to the truth behind Trippier's meeting with Al Ettifaq's representative.
Give me all the details.
As per, join us as we discuss the 5 things we learned in Hull 0 Newcastle United 2. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because you won't want to miss a single moment of this incredible journey.
Let's go.
Starting off, Jacob Murphy had himself an excellent afternoon out there. He started by assisting Isak's opener, then followed that up by whipping in a driving cross that found the back of the net. Sure, it may have been a bit fortunate, but the lad delivered so many dangerous balls into the box and was just so positive on the ball all match long. You have to appreciate how handy of a squad option he is, even if the team could probably use a real top quality upgrade on the right wing eventually. Because when you look at his recent production, 3 goals and 6 assists in his last 8 outings for Newcastle, including the friendlies, that's the kind of return that makes him a valuable asset as the new season approaches. Murphy has really stepped up and become an increasingly influential figure for the squad. His combination of chance creation and goal-scoring ability makes him a real threat that the opposition has to account for. I think you have to be pleased with what you've seen from him lately. Personally, I'm pretty impressed and think he could really contribute some important moments over the course of the season if he keeps this form up. Murphy's positivity and productivity was a highlight as he played a part in both goals. But Hall showed his class in a couple of different positions. Lewis was simply brilliant in that opening period, manning the central midfield duties for Newcastle. He exuded a sense of poise and assurance in that role, which comes as little surprise given his academy pedigree in that position. I would love to witness us deploy this in-possession setup which was recommended by Magpie Media as we embark on the new campaign. Truthfully, I believe it caters to the strengths of every individual in this 11. A box midfield pairing of Hall and Bruno, with Joelinton and Tonali just ahead of them, could be an absolute masterpiece. Hall showcased his versatility throughout the match, beginning as a number 6 before seamlessly transitioning into a left-sided number 8, and then even at left back. He excelled in each responsibility, exhibiting an unrelenting drive both with and without the ball. Clear indications that he is poised to become the next breakout success story under Eddie Howe's tutelage. Unlocking Hall's potential has also to be credited to Eddie Howe's tactical flexibility in this match. It was really fascinating to see them shift into an almost 3-3-4 formation at times. Lewis Hall with Tyno Livramento inverting to give the 4 forwards attacking players a really solid base to operate from. This tactical tweak seemed to pay dividends, as it resulted in an excellent first half performance from the Magpies. By creating that numerical overload in the middle third, it allowed players like Isak, Joelinton and the wide forwards to really get on the ball and dictate the tempo. Howe also experimented with a 3-5-2 system in the second half, which is something he's toyed with before, like in last year's preseason in America. The ability to seamlessly shift between these different structures is a real hallmark of Howe's coaching approach. It just showcases the tactical acumen and flexibility that has made him such an attractive proposition, not just for Newcastle but potentially for the England national team setup as well. Howe's capacity to adapt his tactics to maximize the strengths of the players available is really impressive. While I certainly hope he stays committed to the long-term project at Newcastle United, it's easy to see why his name would be linked to the England job. His ability to get the best out of his players through intelligent, adaptable tactics is a rare skill, and one that would serve the national team very well. It'll be fascinating to see how Howe continues to evolve Newcastle's tactical approach as the season progresses. But based on what we saw in this match, the fans can be confident that he has a deep understanding of the game and the tools to put his players in the best position to succeed. On the other hand, Joelinton looked strong. The big Brazilian really impressed me out there. You could see him coming close to opening the scoring a few times, making some dangerous runs and arrivals into the box. He just oozed class, Even with a couple of relatively inexperienced midfielders around him, Joelinton looked so strong and in control. He was really dictating the tempo and flow of the game from that central role. You could tell he's got that confidence and assuredness about his game right now. I've got to say I'm really excited to see what's in store for Joelinton this season. He's clearly taken his game to another level, and I think this could be another big year for him. The way he was bossing things in the midfield today was a real statement. If he can keep performing like this, he could be an absolute cornerstone for Newcastle going forward. Talking about going forward, Alexander Isak's performance was perfect. The Swede was absolutely clinical, wasn't he? That poacher's finish off Jacob Murphy's cross to open the scoring was just textbook. I mean, the guy's making it 2 goals in 2 over the preseason now. And you could see his quality throughout the match. He nearly created a goal for Joelinton in that opening half hour, showcasing his ability to link up play. Then he came close to adding a second himself later on, only to be denied by a last-ditch block. Isak was a constant threat, always lurking around the box and making intelligent runs. I have to say, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from him so far. He's settling in nicely and demonstrating why the club invested so heavily to bring him in. If he can keep being injury-free and this kind of form going into the new season, Isak could be a real difference maker for Newcastle. In defence, Byrne was solid at centre-back. Pope made one superb save, and we kept a clean sheet while avoiding any injuries.
Nick, well played. Are you happy with that start to pre-season?
Yeah, I think we can be. A good test, a different test, but I think we came through it okay, and yeah, lads look good, look sharp, so yeah, good day.
You say different test, what do you mean by that?
I think just the way they play, different style, they're good on the press, and just, yeah, good, obviously good level of opposition, obviously good side, so yeah, it's a good afternoon for us, I think.
Lots of positives, I guess a clean sheet being very much one of them.
Always, yeah. Always nice. Yeah, I thought we looked good really off the ball and in our defensive shape and blocking shots and limiting them to real chances. So yeah, happy with that.
A couple of good saves from yourself, particularly the one from Regan Slater in the first half. Just talk to us about that one.
Yeah, it just came for a couple of bodies down to my left. So yeah, happy to keep it out and also preserve a clean sheet. So always nice to help the boys.
On the topic of injuries, let's dive into the 19 players who missed out on this match. Starting with the trio who stayed back on Tyneside to train and build up their fitness: Lloyd Kelly, Sean Longstaff and Joe Willock. The coaching staff felt this game came a bit too soon for them to be involved. As for Fabian Schär and Miguel Almiron, they only returned to training on Friday, so Howe opted to hold them out of this one as a precaution. Likewise, the likes of Bruno Guimaraes, Kieran Trippier, Anthony Gordon and Martin Dubravka are still on leave after representing their countries over the summer. In terms of injuries, Callum Wilson is still working his way back, with Howe confirming he might not be available for the first Premier League game after undergoing surgery on his back. Lewis Miley is sidelined with a broken foot, while both Sven Botman and Jamal Lascelles are recovering from ACL injuries. Matt Targett is also just edging his way back from an injury-riddled 2023-24 season. It's a bit unclear why Harrison Ashby, Alex Murphy and Joe White weren't involved, but Howe likely wanted to manage their minutes and workloads. And the omission of Mark Gillespie isn't too surprising given the wealth of goalkeeping options at the club. So in summary, a mix of fitness, injury and squad management reasons kept a significant portion of the group out of this pre-season fixture. But it's an encouraging sign that Howe has such depth to draw from as he prepares the squad for the campaign ahead. Then moving on, according to reports from the Times, Newcastle United manager Eddie Howe has met with defender Kieran Trippier to convince him to stay at the club for the upcoming season. The report states that Howe has made it clear to the 33-year-old Trippier that he remains a key part of his plans for next season and wants him to stay at Newcastle. This comes despite strong links between Trippier and a potential move to Saudi Arabia. While Newcastle are yet to receive any bids for the England international, it's believed that Steven Gerrard's Al Ettifaq club is one of the teams interested in signing Trippier. This interest has been fueled by the fact that the defender is entering the final 12 months of his contract at Newcastle. Interestingly, Trippier has recently posted a picture on social media of himself meeting with Al Ettifaq's head scout Tom Spring with the caption, "Good meeting." However, journalist Ben Jacobs has claimed that the rumours of Trippier joining Al Ettifaq are unfounded, and the club does not have him on their radar or within their budget. The Times report suggests that the departure of Newcastle's co-owners, Amanda Staveley and Mehrdad Godusi, has derailed the discussions about a potential contract extension for Trippier, which were previously planned. Howe is keen to keep the experienced defender, as he feels the team cannot afford to lose his expertise and leadership on and off the pitch. Trippier has been given an extended break after his participation in Euro 2024, and he is expected to link up with the Newcastle squad at the end of next week, meaning he will miss the upcoming friendlies in Japan. The situation now raises questions about the club's owners and Trippier's own desires. It remains to be seen whether the club's new owners, Public Investment Fund, would prefer to cash in on Trippier while they can, or if the player himself is eyeing an exit. However, the report suggests that Trippier's recent trip to the Middle East was for a personal break and not related to a potential transfer. But tell me, should Newcastle keep or sell Kieran Trippier? And then finally, in an exciting update, if you want to know the electric player Newcastle have recently agreed personal terms with, click the video link on screen now.